Yo, what's going on YouTube? Hopefully you guys have been having an amazing trading week so far. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how I personally use RSI divergence as a whole, as to when I take profit and as to when I'm expecting market to reverse as a whole. But before I actually get into the video, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe down below and turn on your post notifications so that you guys can see any and all other future videos when it comes to trading related tips, tricks, so on and so forth, right? Aside from that, if this video did help you out in any way, shape, or form, be sure to blow the fuck up out the like button and comment so that we can boost this video to a lot more individuals out in the trading community. And with all of that being said and done, let's get straight into it. So the first thing that you want to basically go ahead and just get involved is your relative strength index, your RSI, which is where I identify my divergence, right? So going into my inputs, these are my settings right here. I know a lot of people have different settings, like they have this put on 7, some people have it on 8, some people have it on 10. It's all the same thing. I have it on 14 and I'm gonna explain the video on 14. So if you want to keep it at 14, you can do that. But that's my settings for that. Within style, this is just basically all up to personal preference on what colors you like, so on and so forth. I like the colors that I have set. You can make these bands thicker, you can make them less thick. You can do all of that stuff. So like I said, that's all just personal preference. Really, the main settings is just going to be the input. So now let's just go ahead and cancel that. And let's just go ahead and get with an actual example, right? So the first thing that you want to do is basically identify which way the market is trending as a whole. I don't know why that's still there. Okay. That was the first cut. Starting off down over here, you can see that market is just basically going and trending up as a whole, right? Making new higher highs, making new higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, right? So I got that set. I want to go long on this specific position, right? So let's just say without any RSI divergence at all, I want to show you guys how you can take profits at a specific structural level, or at a specific point in the market if there is no structural level. Because as you can tell right here, let's just say, for example, there's nothing to the left over here, because I know there's more left over here within the markets, but let's just say there's no sort of support resistance from previous history, because the market is continuously printing new higher highs and new higher lows, right? And let's just say I were to take an entry for a buy position right here, because market is bullish. I have all my confluences added up, whether it's 4, 5, 6, whatever, right? This is just an example. I take my buy position and price just goes in my direction, right? Barely any drawdown, so on and so forth, right? And I'm still holding. And I'm thinking to myself, when do I want to take out? Because I don't know when the next resistance zone is going to be if price is continuously making new higher highs and new higher lows. So this is where the perfect time to use RSI divergence is going to be. So number one, let me just go ahead and draw my trend line just so I can show you guys where market is going as a whole. Excuse me. When it comes to RSI divergence, let's look at this cheat sheet. There's two different types of divergence. You can go for bullish divergence or you can go for bearish divergence. I typically could care less about regular and hidden as long as I know it's divergence. And I like to think of it as this. For buy, I like to put it as bottom. Buy is bottom. And this is where you draw the line. And you'll see what I mean in just a little bit. Buy is bottom. And then for bearish, it's just sell. So buy bottom, if you can remember that, then you'll remember that bearish is for the roof for the sells, right? So bullish, bottom. Now, coming into this specific thing, let's just start looking into my RSI divergence. So looking into my bearish market, like I said, you want to draw out a roof on the top. So either a new higher high to higher low is printing, or a new higher low to higher high is printing, right? And then up here, it's vice versa. A higher low to higher high printing, and then a higher high to higher low printing. Either or, it's still going to be a bearish divergence, regular hidden. I could care less. It's just a matter of fact that I know if it's a bearish or bullish. So coming back into this, we are in a bullish market, and I want to take profit on a trade. I just don't know when. Let's go ahead and draw out my roof where price is typically trying to respect, and it's right around this specific area, right? I just drew this trend line just to draw it out right there, because we got this tap, this tap, this tap. Typically, if there is no taps back there, I don't really need to draw it. I can just draw it up here, because I can see the tap of the higher low and then the higher high. And notice how on our RSI divergence, you get the complete opposite. So you want to remember that whenever you're looking at RSI divergence, you want the opposite to happen in your chart as it's happening in your RSI. So for example, right here, we got the higher low to higher high point, right? Where's my drawing tool? Drawing tool, nope. Nope. Where's my drawing tool? Yeah, okay. Where's my drawing tool? Okay, it's right here. So you got this higher low, higher high, and now look over here what's happening. Higher high to higher low. Or to lower high, sorry. Now let's look at the chart. Boom, right here. It's hidden, but I could care less because I know it's a bearish divergence. And look at what happens at price whenever we get those prints, price just completely starts to sell off. So typically whenever I see this specific market structure right there as a whole, I would more or less want to basically take out once this new higher low forms, because if price was over here, I cannot talk. If price was just over here, and if I were to basically just get rid of all of this stuff over here right there, there's really no divergence quite yet. This is just a new higher low within the market. And look at what we're doing. We're just retesting previous resistance, acting as a support, and then we continue on. Now, let's just say we get rid of all of that right there, and then price makes that new higher high. We make the new higher high, and if anything, this starts to make a higher low. We can draw out our roofs. What does that mean? If I see another roof starting to form and I can see RSI divergence right off the rip, I'm going to typically want to take out, just because of the fact that market is showing signs of weakness after a very, very, very strong bullish uptrend, right? Why would I continue to sell if there's signs in the market? That's basically telling me that price wants to reverse. What does price do? It shows you that bearish divergence and it starts to sell off. Now, let's just say you wanted to enter a sell position on bearish divergence on a bullish market. Very, very, very risky, but this is why I drew my trend line. If you see some sort of a loss in momentum, you want to typically wait for the break in that specific trend. If you can draw out a trend line, this is the perfect example right here. So let's just say I would have taken profits right there, and I wanted to go into a sell now, just because of the fact that I know we've been in an uptrend for so long, and I see that RSI divergence start to print for bearish, right? So I'm already biased on bearish because of the fact that I know the trend is weakening. What am I going to wait for? I'm going to wait for a break in my trend line. We got the 1 tap, the 2 tap, the 3 tap, and now the 4 tap. It couldn't hold, no rejections, nothing. Boom, it melted. So what am I going to do? I'm going to put my sell position, however you like to put your stops, whether you're more of a passive trader like this, more aggressive, and you want your tight stops, and you want to put it above the break, and whatever targets that you want to do. Let's just say this structural level low right here, this structural level of support, you draw it out, and basically you just take profit whenever you want to take profit. Now let's just see if we can see some sort of another bearish, bullish divergence to show us when we want to pull out of our trade. So looking into this, looking into that, I really don't see any sign of bullish or bearish divergence at all. But what does price do? Keep in mind, we are in a bullish market. If you see what price does over here, it literally just prints a candlestick variation at previous support resistance level, continues to fly up. So let's just put my target profit right there, just because of the fact that you can see previous structure, right? But look at what's starting to form within this general area right around here. You can see prices starting to form higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. But look at this. You get another RSI divergence right around this general area. So let's draw out another trend line right there. Boom. And what is price doing? Anticipating the sell. Why? Because we get the roof that's showing higher high, higher high, and continuing on. And what is happening over here? We get the higher high to lower high. Boom, 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 boom. So what is that showing me? Signs of weakness on an uptrend. So what did I say I'm going to wait for? I'm going to wait for the breakout in that specific structure. So what does price do? It breaks out. Enter my sell position. My target could be TP1, TP2, TP3. Let's just say TP1 for this example, and we're going to set my stops right above structure. Right there. Boom. Another target hit. Now let's see if we can see some sort of a bullish divergence. Keep in mind, guys, this price could have very easily just reversed on me. I'm just doing it for the sake of the video, right? I could add my targets down over here, stops up here, and just held on to the trade. So let's just go ahead and just do that. So looking into that, let's just see if we see some sort of a reason to pull out of my trade. No RSI divergence, no RSI divergence, nothing at all, nothing at all, nothing at all. Any buyer's divergence, I see nothing at all. And what does price do soon after? Price continues to just melt. So I could have very easily just gotten topped out of this trade, but look at the beautiful thing that it shows you. You had RSI divergence for bearish market over here on your long position, showing you that weakness was starting to form, right? Oh, that's MT4. Weakness was starting to form. So what did I do? I took out of my trade, and what price do soon beyond that point? It broke out of my trend line and it started to sell off. What did I sell to? My next structural point. Why? Because I had RSI divergence showing me that market structure was weakening. Now what happened here? We were forming higher highs, higher lows on this trend line. I saw signs of weakness, and what did price do? It broke my trend line and started to sell just a little bit. I set my stops above whatever structural level, however you like to do it. Some people set stops right here if you want to be an aggressive trader. Some people set stops above this zone. Some people set stops above the previous structural level, higher high, higher low, whatever. And they target to the next target right there, target 1, target 2, target 3, so on and so forth. However you like to personally target, right? So let's just keep it how it was, right around that general area. And let's just say we took out because of the fact that it hit a structural level. Now, what am I going to wait for? I'm going to wait for some sort of a pullback. And if I can see some sort of a basically indication that market wants to continue to sell, like for example, I can't quite see divergence in here, but there is same level divergence within the market. So I could draw out literally a double top right here. And what is price doing over here? Boom. What is this showing me? That there's a lot more momentum for sellers, because remember, this is a bearish indication that market wants to continue on or it's starting to weaken. And remember how I told you at the beginning of the video, RSI divergence can show you whether market structure is going to be strong in that trend or it's starting to weaken. And notice how we're in a seller's market now because we just made the new lower low, lower high, lower low. We're hitting a retracement, lower high, and then continuing on, right? We are in that bearish market. So what am I waiting for? Some sort of a bearish indication on RSI. Boom, it showed right there. I'm waiting for my trend line break. If I could even draw the trend line right there. We got the A top, the B top, the C top right above there. And price just breaks our trend line. Boom. And to our sell position, let's just say after that black Maribozu. Boom. What am I targeting? My next target, which would be down here. If I want to continue to hold, so on and so forth, continue to hold to whatever my next structural zone is and however you guys like to take profit. Now, let's just see if we can see another exit point beyond structure right now. Do I see any bullish structure? Possibly right here. We can see some sort of a bullish divergence. And price is doing this. But what does price do? There's no really confirmation or trend line break above this resistance point right here to take the buy. So why would you take the buy if there's really no confirmation? A lot of people could get faked out off of that specific level right there just because of the fact, like I said, there is no breakout. If you're trading, trying to counter trend a trade on a RSI divergence, you want to wait for the breakout. And if you want to continue on with the trend, you also want to wait for the breakout, because look over here. If you are on the lower time frames, this is a bullish market. After it breaks that trend line, what does price do? It starts to sell off. What did it show? Double top. And it also showed the higher high to the higher low right here. So it's showing you sellers. So I could talk about this video all day, but hopefully this little breakdown did help you out. If you guys have any questions at all, be sure to leave it in the comments down below or DM me on Instagram. I like to help you guys out the best way that I can. And like I said, if this video did help you out in any way, shape, or form, be sure to leave a thumbs up and blow the fuck up out the comments, so that way we can boost this video out to a lot more individuals. If you guys are interested in my free trading Discord, I also have a link down below alongside with free training that you guys can go ahead and watch, and how I like to personally trade, a little bit about me, so on and so forth. But with that being said and done, I'll see you guys in the next breakdown video. Peace.